Hey guys, what's up? 412 Sports Cards here today, back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about building an investment portfolio on a budget. So, you heard me talk about it in my last video. I was at a trade night at Sports Card Junction, and I saw at Blitzburg Cards 5, check him out on IG, and we were talking about my YouTube channel, and he suggested an idea for a new video series, something that I honestly really needed because it's been kind of tougher because I used to do more guys that I like to invest in and buy cards of. With the market a little bit more stagnant, at the present moment, maybe even downtrending, I wanted to come up with some new stuff. And he said he was looking to get into investing in cards a little bit more, but he was unsure of how to get started on that on a budget. And I completely agreed with him. It's definitely a subject that's not covered on YouTube much. It's not covered on my YouTube very much. We all hear buy numbered. Buy rookies. Buy numbered rookies that are also iconic cards. Buy numbered Prism rookies. But if you don't have the funds or don't want to put up the funds into cards, what are you left to do? I've definitely touted that mentality, but you're left high and dry if you don't want to put in that kind of money or if you don't have that kind of money. So with the series, I want to dig into some of those points that I haven't talked about much before and that haven't gotten a lot of attention. I'm not 100% sure all the directions this is going to go, but it'll be a series of videos on, sharing my insights, areas to target, and I'll be willing to adapt to what you guys want, and we're going to talk about how to invest in cards if you're on a budget, if you can't go buy insane stuff. Of course, here, I put this up on display. This is not investing on a budget, but these are the cards that I've had on my desk, I've been looking at recently. I kind of rotate through my cards. I don't know if any of you guys ever do that, but it's kind of fun for me. But anyways, without further ado, we'll get into it. So the topic one, and these are just the preliminary topics I want to address. Before I get into more picks, more types of stuff to be looking at, we're going to start with a simple question. Where's the money going to come from? So it seems simple, but it's really important to start the series with, because some of you who are more seasoned might be expecting the stock answer here. Well, obviously, you want to go on the flip grind, and that's how you're going to get your money to invest. And that's the blueprint I followed for years. I would say I started tracking my card purchases in 2016, so I would say that's when I was serious into it. I began my Excel sheet where I track all my purchase and sales and purchase dates and sales dates. But while that's the blueprint that I followed, I'm not sure it's applicable anymore. I tried pulling it off in my Grail Hunt series. Not sure if you guys remember that, but I actually came out in the negative because I was trying to flip in the down market. But, the other thing is that historical flipping vehicles aren't really as viable as they used to be. So pre-2019, if you want to start investing in cards, you get on your flip game. Used to be you buy in the off-season, big name rookies, and you flip into that preseason hype, make an easy buck. So I don't know, I'll just show off some cards I got recently. This is shout out Sports Card Junction, by the way. Got this all from one pack of Bowman Jumbo, but maybe not Ed Howard, but it'd be and we see that Austin Martin, I don't know what level he plays at, but I think he might be in single A. But we see that Austin Martin is the off season, and we think he'll be called up to a new level, to double or triple A, or in a couple of years to the majors. Well, we buy the Austin Martin cards, and once he gets called up a level, we sell them, and we make easy money. That's what I used to do back in the day. And then, that was pre-2019. And then in 2019, it became, we're going to buy base, like this Austin Martin, and we're going to send them all to PSA and get them graded, and we're going to make a killing because they go for so much more in a PSA 10. Back in the day when a bulk was $8, and, it came back in 2 months. So, maybe less. But that's kind of was the old way. And, you get slabs like this. You'd have your LeBron Hollow, get it slabbed. Your Zion Courtside, get it slabbed. Even if you got 9s, you were making money. Money was easy to come by in 2019 through 2020. Real easy. And pre-2019 took a little bit more work. But like I said, it's that looking through, who's going to get called up. Who are the guys who are going to be big name rookies next year whose stuff has fallen in the off season. Buy the off season dip, boom, you were in the money. Now, I think some of that call up bump, Wander Franco recently got a little bump up in price when he got called up. I think is evidence that some of that stuff is still very much in play, but it's I don't think it's what it used to be. The market's a little bit more efficient than it used to be. So anyways, I just went and I just said, well, you can't be flipping your cards like you used to be, at least not as consistently and at least without like a ton of work. So how are you going to get your money? Well, if you've been into cards for a while and you're lucky enough to have been here for 2019, 2020, 2021, captured on that boom in cards, you might just sell some stuff off. This can be cards you don't like anymore. Could be cards that don't fit the investor mindset. It's completely up to you what you want to sell. But you just take some of that money, put that money towards investing. And if you aren't into cards already, you might take some money from some of your disposable income. I would not say, I'm very conservative, I would not say that you should be taking money that would be going into, your investment portfolio. Maybe it's like, well, I was gonna go buy, I don't know, a new Xbox game. I was gonna buy the new 2K or something, or the new Madden, but I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna use the old years, and by not buying those two, I'm gonna save $100, and then I'll invest and put that towards investing in some cards. That makes sense, because it's not taking away from your stock portfolio or traditional, asset class investments. So that's how I feel about that. And if you're taking some money, just a little bit of money from your disposable income, each paycheck, putting it into cards, you just treat that like casino money, okay? Treat it like it's money that if you lost it all, you'd be okay. That's the way you have to think about it. That's how I've always viewed it. And I've got stuff like this Crosby. And even though this is valuable, even though it's from an iconic release, it's still just cardboard at the end of the day, okay? And it's worth a lot because you and I really like this stuff. And that's what gives it its value. At the end of the day, it's cardboard, so you can't be in over your head more than what you're comfortable losing. That is incredibly important, and I think a lesson that should be driven home a lot as we start this series. But anyways, if you're still with me, drop a like, drop a sub. I appreciate you guys checking out this new video, checking out the new series. Stay with me if you like it. Drop comments on what you think I should talk about moving forward, parts of beginning to invest on a budget you might like to hear addressed. Happy to do research, happy to put in the work to make a cool video. Topic 2, how are you going to use the money? So now we've talked about kind of how you're going to save up some money, but I want to touch on picks and stuff later, but today we're going to be talking a little bit more about large. How are you going to use that money? Some areas to note. 1, you need to put in research in the card market. So you need to research price history if you're new or seasoned. You got to put in the time. You got to know what sets hold value. You need to observe the cards that you want to invest in that aren't on Card Ladder or software like that. Use 130 Point. It's a great site to look at the accepted offer prices on eBay listings. Sites like that are really helpful for tracking cards that may not be on a Card Ladder. I don't use Market Movers. I think it's a little bit more comprehensive, but may not even be on there because a lot of times that's the stuff you want to invest in. And, like, for example, I don't think this Claypool, not that this is an investment for me, this is mostly PC, but this Claypool I doubt would be on, like, Market Movers or Card Ladder. It's definitely not on Card Ladder. So, you might need to look through the comps yourself. Look at that price history. See how it's moved. Do all that work before you're putting your hard-earned money on the line. Now, if no comps exist, that's perfectly normal. On some of these rarer cards that don't pop up a ton, you can find similar cards of the same player, okay, and kind of like approximate, or you can find the same card of a different player and then use something like their Prism Silver or some liquid card like that to look at, how much one player trades up compared to another and use that to kind of figure out an approximate comp. Things like that are really, really fun. I had to use strategies like that when I was pricing out this Kobe Mosaic redemption pack that I bought. All these different pictures made it tough to price because the different pictures on the front sold for different prices. That was definitely something that I found to be pretty difficult. I think that you guys can definitely do that. Definitely have that on your mind as you're starting to, think about beginning investing in sports cards on a budget. And point number 2, especially when you're on the budget, you got to pace yourself, guys. So don't think out of the gate, we're going to be running and we're going to take every penny we got and we're going to dump it in right now. One, that kind of negates this idea of the dollar cost averaging, which I think is a smart idea for cards, stocks, whatever. It should be buying over a period of time steadily is the way I like to do it. But, it also is not that fun when you burn through all your money, because then you're sitting there on the sidelines looking at cards you want and you can't buy them. So, take your time with it. So that's kind of where we're at. So what was the tools that we talked about today? We talked about where can you get the money, whether it be from your card portfolio, whether it be taken from, your disposable income treated like casino money, and, maybe flipping base if you want. And then we talked about the basic principles of guiding your buying activity. We talked about doing research, 130 point, looking for comps, creating your own idea of comps for rare cards. And, sometimes there are cheap, sometimes there are rare cards that are cheap, okay? So it's not just for the super expensive. Don't think it's just for the super expensive that these comps may not exist. It might exist for some lower stuff too. And we talked about pacing ourselves out of the gate. So next time, we're going to talk about certain sectors of the card market that I think might be attractive to the budget investor. And we'll get into some of that next time. I'm really excited to keep these videos rolling for you guys. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the start of this. Let me know what you think, what you like, what you don't like. As they say on Lucas Tigers Bronze, tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell everyone. And I'll catch y'all next time.